Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Transfer News Latest, a series I want to keep doing despite not having done it recently. Now, we have a lot to get into tonight, including several rumours and several here we goes. Let's get into it. Before we start, I would like to remind you to press that red subscribe button below. Current YouTube statistics state that almost 83% of viewers are not subscribed to this channel. So I beg you, please press that subscribe button. It really helps out me and the channel. Now, to start off with the biggest news, as I said in my transfer news video, Newcastle aren't interested in selling Alexander Isak, so Liverpool went out and got Hugo Ekitike for €95 million including add-ons. There was a report from Fabrizio Romano that Eintracht Frankfurt were open for Ekitike to move to Manchester United, only the player wanted to go to Liverpool. Now, this is a very key signing for Liverpool, as we all know that Darwin Núñez is very inconsistent when it comes to goals, so this signing could be useful in helping Liverpool defend their title. Additionally, there has been more on the Luis Diaz story, as mentioned a few days ago. Diaz is currently the top target for Bayern Munich, who hope to find an agreement with Liverpool. But in an exclusive update from Fabrizio Romano, if Liverpool decide not to sell Diaz, Bayern have made contact with Olympique Lyon to see if they could come to an agreement for Malik Fofana. Personally, I think Bayern should go for Fofana. I remember he had links to Chelsea in the 2024 summer transfer window, and I think in the 2025 January transfer window. And I think he's definitely a prospect signing, and if he goes to Bayern, he could reach that level he could definitely get to. So regarding Luis Diaz, I think he should definitely stay at Liverpool. To me, he seems to be one of their key players, and I think Liverpool would lose out massively if he goes, which is why I believe Liverpool are trying their hardest to keep him. And another red-coloured football club have actually started to make signings. That's right. Manchester United have completed the signing of Bryan and Mbeumo from Brentford for £70 million, including add-ons. This is a really good signing for Manchester United, coming off their worst ever season. They need experienced players like Mbeumo to help them return to Europe for the next season. His medical has been completed and sealed, as he signs a 5-year contract with the option to extend it for another year. In addition, United have made contact with Royal Antwerp for their 23-year-old goalkeeper Sene Lammens. He and Emi Martinez currently seem to be on United's list for new goalkeepers. Of course, Martinez is a lot more expensive than Lammens, but if you ask me, I think United should go for Emi Martinez. While he is the more expensive option, he does have that Premier League experience that Amorim needs to take United back to the top and back to Europe. How much United would have to pay? Honestly, I couldn't say. After all, I'm not in the circles where this is discussed, so I can really only guess. But from what I've seen, Emi Martinez is currently worth €20 million, which is about £17 million. However, as he is Villa's first choice goalkeeper, I would assume that United would have to pay a lot more than that. My guess is about 30 to 50 million, and that is without add-ons. I could be either in the ballpark or really out of it. I don't really know. But after all, United also do need to bring in a striker, which, according to Mark Goldbridge, Sesko is currently the top of the list for. And while there were reports today from 3 separate Portuguese outlets that United did make another bid for Victor Osihmen, Fabrizio Romano has clarified that he only wants Arsenal despite Man United links. However, it also does seem that the news regarding Gyökeres's move to Arsenal have gone down, so who really knows whether he will move to Arsenal. Though at the same time, from what I've been seeing from Mark Goldbridge, Amorim really only wants Sesko and Lammens. Sesko is a good idea and was Arsenal's original target for a striker. However, he is currently worth £70 million. So, and United are broke as well, so how they could get the money for him, who knows? But we'll just have to see what happens. He is 22 years old and he is experienced, so he might be a good option and definitely one for the future. But I think that price tag might stop United from going in for him. But what does seem to be nice to see is that United also have some outgoings as well. After stating a few weeks ago his intent to leave, Marcus Rashford has agreed a deal with Barcelona for a season-long loan. Now, from my understanding, Marcus Rashford has taken a 15% pay cut of his wages and Man United will not cover his salary. So that's how they managed to pay for Mbeumo. Also, there is a €30 million buy option in his contract. Now, whether Barca will buy him will depend on how well he plays this coming season. I did see a reel today from Mark Goldbridge where he did say that Antony, the £80 million flop at United, went to Real Betis and tore it up. If you remember. Because I remember, and that's probably what scared me the most for the Conference League final. So there is a chance that Rashford could do the same, especially seeing how he is a whole lot better than Antony was at United. So that could happen, but at the same time there is also a chance of that not happening. After all, Barcelona is a completely different level to Real Betis, and I really don't think Rashford will start over Lewandowski, Rafinha and Yamal, who did just win Barca a domestic treble. Also, Rashford's attitude that caused a lot of issues with Amorim could also factor in, but given it is a World Cup year and Rashford will want to play in that World Cup, he may actually just try and most likely do well, because we've seen Rashford do very well when he does want to. Though we will just have to wait and see what happens. Now, there also seems to be news from the other side of Manchester. After probably his worst season at City, where he managed to not win a single trophy, Pep Guardiola is looking to get rid of several players to improve his team. Now, we already know that De Bruyne and Walker have gone elsewhere, and it now seems that Galatasaray are looking for a move for Ederson. From what I've seen, the Turkish side have begun talks with the goalkeeper over personal terms, but no bid has been sent to Manchester City. Though it still hasn't stopped City from going out and making an attempt to sign Burnley goalkeeper James Trafford. In an exclusive story from Fabrizio Romano, I understand that James Trafford has accepted a return to Man City and is keen on the move. However, City do need to come to an agreement with Burnley and are looking to reduce that £40 million buyback clause. Therefore, another move to Man City could be imminent. And it'll be a good one as well, because Trafford has proven he is a very good goalkeeper. And if he leaves Burnley, could that potentially be Burnley's ticket back to relegation? We'll have to see. However, staying in Turkey, and more specifically with Galatasaray, a report from Fabrizio Romano, literally from like the last hour, is that Victor Osihmen to Galatasaray is a here we go. Galatasaray are to pay Napoli €40 million upon the agreement of the deal, and then another £35 million a year later. And then there's an extra 10% to be given to Napoli, depending on how many goals he scores or how much Galatasaray sell him on for. So I think that'll come to about €80 million. So yes, Galatasaray really did break the bank for him. Well, at least that saga is over now. From what I saw last season, Osimhen did well at Galatasaray, and I'm glad Napoli finally got rid of him because Conte managed to achieve a resurgence in Romelu Lukaku. Somehow. But this dominance from Osimhen has led to Alvaro Morata agreeing to a move to join Como, led by his old teammate, Cesc Fabregas. From what I've read, everything is set and a here we go is just needed. So that should probably come in like the next few days. And one last report from Turkey. After the termination of his contract, Saul has left Atletico Madrid and joined Trabzonspor. The announcement is set for next week. Saul has been at Atleti for 17 years now, so this could perhaps mean that Simeone is looking to modernise his squad so he could get further into the Champions League and maybe even break the top 2 of La Liga. Perhaps. After all, they are looking for a move for Renato Vega from Chelsea. He's keen on the move and Chelsea are not prepared to sell him for less than €40 million. I think that's how much we got him for. I don't remember. Anyway, only time will tell as to what happens in regard to this move, as Atleti are prepared to advance in negotiations for him. Honestly, I don't really know why Chelsea got him in the first place. After all, he didn't really play much for the first half of the season, and then he just went out on loan to Juventus. Kinda pointless in my eyes. And the only other frustrating thing is, if we let him go, that means we basically lose a substitute for Marc Cucurella for left back. And if he gets injured or suspended, that could be a loss. So, but it could be an opportunity for Malo Gusto, who has proven that he can play left back, and he is the kind of player Maresca wants and needs in his attacking build-up style of play. So, yeah. And there is another outgoing from Chelsea, as Mamadou Sarr agreed to return to Strasbourg on loan from Chelsea. Honestly, that is fine by me. I really didn't think that he was going to play much, because he is still really young. And Strasbourg can give him that experience, which is why Paez went on loan there, Andre Santos did last season, and I think Penders is on his way to Strasbourg as well. So yeah, they've proven as well that they can give that experience and help develop these players to make them into like really, really good players. And finally, the deal has been agreed between Benfica and Palmeiras for Richard Rios. This is a here we go. This is a good deal in my opinion. After all, we all saw what Benfica did with João Felix and Enzo Fernandez, who was only there for half a season, and then, well, we all know what happened. Chelsea spent over £100 million on him, which is really starting to look worth it as well, actually. So, going back to Rios, this could be a really good move for his development. And I remember he was also wanted by United. Well, no. United fans wanted him. I don't think United themselves did. But that shows that he is a talented player who was sought after by maybe the big clubs. So Benfica could help develop him into a really good player. And because he's that talented already, he could maybe help Benfica go for the Portuguese title. Maybe. It's just speculation at this point. But I'll leave it there. That's really been all the recent transfers of the last few days. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Thank you, and goodbye.